These long dog days of summer, I mean, we just made it through a heat wave. Mama was parched through this heat wave. I was hitting up Dunkin' every single day, and I will continue to probably for the rest of my days, but especially this summer. Dunkin' is helping everyone stay cool this summer with its lineup of refreshers. These drinks are packed with bold, fruity flavors and served ice cold. It's amazing. Dunkin' refreshers are the perfect afternoon pick-me-up. I like to start my morning with them personally, and then sometimes I go back for a second one because I'm just feeling crazy. They come in a variety of delicious flavors, including fan favorites mango pineapple and strawberry dragon fruit. And then for a limited time, there's black cherry and there's pink pineapple. I'm going to tell you something right now, and it's a bold claim, let me tell you, but I stand behind it. Pink pineapple will change your life. It is so good. It has me feeling like I'm sitting in a pool, resort side, just living, honey. It's so yummy. Try your favorite flavor with green tea, sparkling water, lemonade, or Dunkin's all-new limeade. I haven't tried the limeade yet, but I'm going to. Usually I get my drinks made with green tea and occasionally lemonade, but I do really like the green tea. Or if you don't want to build your own, try one of Dunkin's curated refreshers like the Cherry Lime Ricky or the Ultimate Pink Daydream. The Cherry Lime Ricky, scrumptious. I could drink like 3 of these a day. They're so freaking yummy. Head to Dunkin' today and find your favorite refresher. Dunkin' refreshers contain less than 1% fruit juice. Limited time offer.
Adobe Firefly is the all-in-one creative studio with AI-powered image and video editing for today's creative process. Built for creators of every kind, Firefly helps you generate, edit, and experiment fast. Because the asks aren't getting smaller, the budgets aren't getting bigger, and the timelines, oh yeah, still tight. With all the best creative AI models in one place, Firefly brings your ideas to life. Unlock a better way to make with Adobe Firefly.
For moi,
Claude, you can talk?
I've always had the gift of gab, Nancy. But now you can understand. With Pretty Litter, the odor-neutralizing, long-lasting, health-indicating kitty litter that's simply the most luxurious way to bury my poopies and my peepees.
Pretty Litter was developed with veterinarians. It helps me monitor potential health problems just by changing color.
Go to prettylitter.com today. Pretty Litter, not just a pretty litter.
Hey, weirdos. I'm Elena.
I'm Ash.
And this is Morbid.
This is Morbid. We are coming at you not live from our pod lab.
Yeah.
But you know where we could be coming to you live from?
Radio City Music Hall,
bitch.
In New York City.
In New York City on June 27th. Be there or be a big old lame-o.
Yeah, come on. It'll be fun. It's one night only.
Debbie is going to teach us how to do a tap.
Yeah.
How to tap.
We're going to do a kick line.
Yeah, we're going to do a kick line, and we might even do a little tap, tap, tap.
And we got some fun shit planned.
We have some fun shit planned. We're working on, figuring a couple things out.
Some
We just
nifties.
figured a merch out, and some of the merch is going to be sick and nasty.
Yeah, it's going to be disgustingly great.
Yeah, I'm really fucking stoked. So get your tickets for that. You don't have that much time left. June 27th is going to be here before you know it.
It's true.
So get those tickets. Ticketmaster, only get them there because that's the only place where we said, hey, those prices sound good.
Yeah, if it's elsewhere and it looks insane, we had nothing to do with that.
Period.
Promise.
So yeah, get those tickets. We want to see you there. We want to hang.
We want to see your face.
I want to see your
the rest
face.
of your body.
I
Not in
want
a
to
weird
see.
way.
We want to see from your head down to your legs.
Exactly.
All of the above.
But not your feet.
Ew. Go on Wiki Feet for that if you want to see feet.
If you want to see feet.
If you want to see feet. I saw this girl say that she paid for like a car with selling feet pics.
I've
and I was
seen
like,
so
wow.
many people say they paid for outrageous things.
I had a friend who sold feet pics.
That's wild.
And that's not like I'm saying like my friend.
Yeah, you're like, no, seriously.
I legitimately
my friend.
had a friend. I have my foot is too distinguishable because I have a tattoo
'Cause you
on
have a
it.
tattoo, yeah.
And like it's like has to do with my grandma, so I could
That would
never
be
sell
weird.
feet pics. That'd be so fucked up.
Yeah, that would be weird as hell.
Yeah, that'd be real bad.
That would be real weird.
Sorry if we sound congested. We are in fact congested.
It's been kind of a sick ward over here. I don't know if it's like, this happens sometimes. I feel like the changeover from winter to spring.
Yeah.
sometimes it's like the mix of allergies, and then I think all the germs are like giving it that one last, like the winter germs are like giving it a last go.
One more punch.
So everybody in my house got sick, but what was fun about this one was we all got sick with different things.
Yeah.
Which made it very interesting. I wouldn't say fun. It was interesting though. We had puking, we had ear infections, we had pneumonia, we had weird colds.
Yeah.
We had random nausea.
Elena and I just have a sinus
Yeah.
thing going on. I swear I have a
Yeah.
sinus infection. I went to urgent care
I
and they
think
were
you do
like,
too.
you don't have a sinus infection. I was like, cool. Why does it hurt when you touch my face then?
What's this
And
about?
she was like, leave. And I was like, okay.
Leave. Yeah, it's been, so I think we just, I'm feeling better today,
I feel much better today.
but I apologize if I sound a little congested. I know maybe I'm alone in this, but whenever I hear someone sound sick, sometimes it can make me feel weird.
It's so funny whenever we have to record and she's like, oh, I sound sick. Like, it's going to be awful. I'm like, I don't really
like, "It's
think about
okay."
that. Like, I've definitely listened to pods where people
Yeah.
don't sound A-okay. And
I
I'm
just
like,
always
that's all
feel
right.
bad because I'm like, I don't want you to feel gross while listening.
Don't
you know?
feel gross while listening
So don't
to
feel
us.
gross.
Feel
You're
good.
okay.
You know what makes me feel gross?
What?
The new fucking Siri.
Yeah.
I have a bone to pick with her.
Yeah, I don't feel as strongly about this.
It actually shocks me that you don't feel as
Yeah.
strongly about this because the second I was by myself, which is actually weird because I feel like I'm always driving with you.
Yeah, because it's in the car. That's
Yeah, it's the car Siri. The phone Siri's fine. But she's a bitch. She's a bitch.
She just doesn't give a fuck.
No, she reads my text and she puts, first of all, weird like emphasis on certain words that it doesn't make it, like she's putting the wrong emphasis on the wrong syllable. And then also, whenever she's like, hey, do you want to respond? 9 out of 10 times the answer is no, I don't
Yeah.
want to respond. She has a personal bone to pick with me about that.
does.
She goes, okay,
That's yeah.
okay.
That honestly, I think that's why I thought she was so funny.
You
is
like her
because-
bitchery?
No, it just because so it happened where I was like, I was going to answer something and it was like, do you want to respond?
And you said, absolutely
I
not.
said, no, thank you, because I'm always polite.
Oh, I always say no, thank you.
Yeah, I always say yes, please. I always say no, thank you.
When the rise of the robots
Yeah.
comes up, I need them to know that I was polite.
yeah, I don't want to be.
I mean,
that
this
asshole.
won't age well for me, but
But I want them to know that I said thank you.
yeah.
But so I said no, thank you, and she said okay, and it was so jarring and
It's
shocking
jarring.
that it made me laugh. So I think I was just like, all right, girl, you made me laugh. Like that was
Oh,
funny.
no,
I
it
didn't
didn't.
see that coming.
It did not make me laugh. I looked down at my radio like, who the fuck just spoke out of turn to
Which
me?
is so funny because you would think this would be
Completely
reversed.
opposite.
That I would be like, who the fuck are you talking to?
Literally.
For some reason, I was like, oh, okay, we have a thing, me and you, Suri.
Oh, no.
Where you pretend to be like, okay.
Oh, I don't feel like she's pretending. I feel
See,
like
I
she's.
feel like we have a thing.
No, you don't.
We have a funny joke
No,
between us.
stop it. You don't. No. She's being rude to you.
I-
In your own vehicle that you pay for.
See, I won't stand for that. That's why it's a joke.
I can't stand for that either. I'm trying to figure out how to change that bitch.
Yeah, I don't think you can.
I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like it.
I don't-
Okay.
How do you guys feel?
Okay.
How do you feel about your car, Suri?
Yeah, did your car Siri change and you had
Yeah.
no say? That's the other thing. I didn't like that I didn't have a say in it.
Yeah, I don't love it being. It's like that U2 album being dropped on everyone's phones.
Oh, I hated that.
Everybody was just really upset.
And remember, you couldn't get rid of it
you
either.
couldn't get rid of it.
That's the other thing. Like my old Siri she was like an older lady. I know it. Like she had like older
know
lady
it.
vibes.
This
and
one does have younger vibes.
I get on so well with older ladies. Like when I was at Disney, I made besties with like 3 different older ladies.
Good job.
Drew was like, "What is happening?"
Like I love old biddies.
I love old biddies, and old biddies love me.
I love old biddies too.
I think me and old biddies like get each other.
Yeah.
When
Oh,
I
yeah.
dressed up as an old biddy, when I dressed up as Miranda Priestley, I never felt more myself.
Yeah, and honestly, you never you never felt more yourself to everyone else. too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm meant to be old, I think.
I think so. I'm meant to be old. I'm meant to be elderly.
That's what it is. It
Yeah.
is what it do be. Okay. Okay.
Well, we're gonna talk. Oh, you know what? Before
Should we get more serious for a second?
Yeah, because before we get into this harrowing tale of survival,
Oh, we love survival.
I'll give you that right up front, because it involves a bebe.
A baby.
But survival. Some crazy true crime news happened.
Yeah, this is
that I
nuts.
just could not mention. They linked a new victim to Ted fucking Bundy.
That is shocking. Shocking, but also not shocking because he was so
Wild.
active.
It's just, and this is why we always say like a cold case is never cold.
Never
It's
cold.
it's never frozen solid, because this was from 1974,
Wow.
and they were able to link him to it with DNA.
That's actually nuts.
It was 1974. The victim is 17-year-old Laura and Amy. She was from Utah. 17 years old.
That's awful.
Yeah, he was a lot more than a lot of people think.
Yeah.
She went missing on Halloween night. She was leaving a party. I think she was just going to like a store. She never made it there. And they do think that he held her for some time alive.
Oh.
Because she wasn't found until about a month later. She was found dumped on the side of the road. She had been bound, beaten.
Oh.
I mean, he's a horrific monster.
Yeah.
It's really sad.
Did he like usually hold his victims for a period of time? I feel like I don't remember that.
No, I think a lot of his were
Like he abducted them and killed them the same night, right?
I think I'm sure there were a couple.
I'm sure there were variations, yeah.
Yeah. And I think we're gonna hear. I wouldn't be surprised if we get more. I
With-
think
just
there
with
was many
DNA.
more that he's wildly prolific.
Yeah.
Like wildly.
You wish there was like a different word, because prolific, like I know what you're saying.
I know it makes it sound
Prolific sounds like a good thing, but
yeah,
in
it
that
sounds
case
like an
it's not.
accomplishment, but it's no.
But there's no other way to
There
like,
isn't.
say
Yeah,
it,
prolific,
you know?
that just is what it means. But I guess from what I could see, he did verbally acknowledge this this victim,
like
as being
said he did
connected
it.
to him. He did acknowledge it before his execution. I'm not quite sure the details of it. I'll go
Yeah.
further into it for sure. I want to take like a deep dive on this.
Yeah.
But obviously you need solid closure, because he's a lying sack of shit.
Of course.
So like him saying anything, you're like, take that with about a ton of salt.
Because their brains are so fucked up, they want to take quote
Credit
unquote
for
credit
things, yeah.
for killing more people.
But now DNA has definitively linked him. They were able to find basically one instance of male DNA that matched him.
Wow.
That was found
That's
on her
crazy.
body. So
It makes you like, I hope the family feels some sense of, I know closure is not really a real thing,
Yeah.
but I hope they find something where at least they
know
have
now.
answers now.
at least they have answers.
But then at the same time, to find out that your loved one was killed by Ted Bundy,
Bundy.
I think that would send you for like a whole new loop.
Well, that's the thing. I think they probably are going through a whole other grieving process now, because
No matter
not
what.
only was she killed, which you knew she was, you didn't know who, and now to find out that he's one of the most infamous serial killers in history.
And you know just how evil he is.
And you've
There's a
heard all
lot
the
to that.
stories about what he's done to other people, and like that must be
Yeah.
a whole different thing. And honestly, I hope they're able to stick together and get through it,
I
because
know.
that's rough.
That really is awful.
But yeah, I just had to mention that because that was a really big deal.
That is, absolutely.
With that, we will get into our case for today, which is, it's harrowing,
But survivor story.
but it has a happy ending.
Okay, good.
And it really is a story about a community coming the fuck together. I will tell you that.
I know what case you're telling me today. I don't know anything about this.
Yeah.
Elena and Mikey.
Before your time.
Yes, it's before my time. Elena and Mikey were talking about it, and they were like, "You don't remember this?" And I was
Yeah.
like, "No, guys."
Well, and I was like, oh yeah, it was like, and it was honestly, it was 1987. So I was only a couple of years old.
Damn. But you
So-
remember it like,
But I remember like because
I'm sure they talked about it in the
this
years.
a lot in the years after that, and like you would see the news coverage and
Yeah.
all that stuff. So I wasn't cognizant of it while it was happening, but I remember seeing it afterwards and being like, oh shit.
yeah, I hadn't heard about this until you guys brought
Yeah.
it up.
We're talking about the rescue of baby Jessica McClure. A lot of people who were born in the 80s and 70s especially are going to be like, oh, yep, baby Jessica in the
Okay.
well. So I know this one. But it's a harrowing story.
Yeah.
I actually just saw someone and I was like, what a weird coincidence, because I decided to do this case. And then I saw someone on TikTok, this like mom, who was just sitting there explaining the story to her daughter.
Oh, really?
And she was telling it in this like really great, I was like, damn, I'll listen to the whole story when
Little
you tell it.
cautionary tale.
And her daughter was like, this didn't happen. Like, that's not real. And she was like, no, it really happened.
my
Like,
God.
I'm telling you. And it was so funny to hear somebody be like, what that didn't really happen. It's like, no, it
It's
fucking
like, no, it
happened.
did. That's also so weird when you decide to do a case and then it just like,
it pops up
even
in
if you
your
don't
life.
say it out loud, that often it comes on your timeline. You're like, hello?
Because I wasn't really talking about this.
No, we didn't talk about it a ton
So
at
it's
all.
weird that it just came up.
It makes you feel like life is a simulation.
It really does. It's very weird.
I
don't
don't like the outside of the simulation, but like I like my homies.
You're like very insulated simulation. You like?
Yeah, like I like you. I like
Yeah.
my husband and like
I like my
most of my family.
my very micro
Yeah.
simulation is nice.
Yeah.
I don't know about all that.
All the rest of it, I'm like,
don't
damn,
know.
can you simulate something else?
Yeah, can we aid in that simulation somehow?
If my simulator is listening.
Yeah, I always like to say things to my FBI agent who tries to scroll away from a specific TikTok. Does that happen to you every once in a while?
Yep.
You'll be watching something and then it's like, whoop, nope. And you're like, oh, babe. Sometimes I'm like, hey, no, I'm watching that.
That's happening a lot to me lately.
Happening a lot lately.
A lot lately.
Yeah.
And it's also on like the most innocuous videos.
It is. I'm like, let me watch this person organize their
I
pantry.
was watching a lady Easter egg Easter egg dye.
Yeah.
I was watching this lady dye Easter eggs with her kids and they were like, nope, not for you.
Not for you.
It's like, okay, I guess not.
Damn. All jokes, calm down.
I mean,
Somebody's gonna be like, "How dare you?" say that?"
whatever.
But let's begin with who the family is, who Jessica's parents are.
Okay.
So her parents were Chip and Reba McClure.
Chip and Reba.
Chip and Reba.
Immediately sat for
Right?
this story.
I'm in.
Say no more.
And things had never been like super easy for Chip and Reba, but they hadn't been like awfully difficult.
They should be
either.
easy for Chip and Reba. Those
They
are
just-
wholesome ass names.
They have a very like relatable story, I feel like, for a lot of people.
Okay.
In 1987, they were new parents. They were barely adults themselves. They had both only recently turned 18 years old.
Okay.
They had met years earlier and started dating in high school.
Oh, high
and
school sweethearts.
It's the high school sweethearts. And Reba had become pregnant in 1986, and they had both dropped out of school.
Oh, that stinks.
Chip found work doing manual labor around Midland, Texas, but had been looking for something more reliable that would allow him to support his family independently. Since they'd both left school, they'd received like a good amount of financial and emotional support from Chip's parents.
Nice.
Who, like many people around town, had done well financially during Midland's oil boom in previous decades.
Oh, I love an oil boom.
Right? So Chip later said, "We didn't know we were poor. Like, we never felt it."
Yeah.
With his parents kind of helping out with his income, Chip and Reba had been able to afford a small apartment and it helped pay the bills.
Nice.
He said money was never an issue. So it seemed like they knew that like they were kind of working hard for everything and that things weren't coming easy, but they were able to pay the bills, which is great.
Yeah, that's what more can you ask for?
Compared to other people in Midland, which had fallen into a recession since the oil bust of the mid 1980s, they were doing pretty well, but they were still teenage parents. Like,
Yeah, that's
a
tough.
lot. And that was never going to be easy for
Babies
anyone.
are fucking expensive.
Yeah. Chip had always been a good student and he had a lot of promise. He was very smart. He said, by the time I got to high school, I kind of found my groove and was a little less of a nerd.
Oh.
And I kind of liked high school. Reba, on the other hand, was a little less enthusiastic about school, and being pregnant only made things much more difficult.
Yeah, I'm sure you're like very self-conscious.
Yeah, Chip said being pregnant, she really was having a rough time, which I
Yeah.
can imagine.
School is hard anyways. I can't imagine having to get through it while pregnant.
No.
And girls are so mean to each other
I
anyways.
know. Be nicer to each other, ladies.
Yeah,
Come on.
exactly.
So it was Reba who decided to drop out of school first to focus on the pregnancy and, starting to raise a baby.
Yeah.
But it wasn't long before Chip himself was considering the same option. He said, "I took my GED without even studying and passed.
Holy shit.
Then I just went to work. It was the right thing to do."
Okay,
It's like,
Chip.
damn, Chip. Once he found work and baby Jessica was born, things started to calm down and they settled into a routine.
I love what a 90s name Jessica is.
Oh, Jessica or Jennifer.
yeah.
Yeah.
Or Ashley.
Or
All the
Ashley.
same name.
Yeah.
And Brittany.
Yep. So thanks to Chip's father's share of oil royalties, Jessica never wanted for anything.
Oh, good.
And that generosity was frequently extended to Chip and Reba.
Nice.
Chip later said, "We weren't living paycheck to paycheck," which is, again, huge.
What good parents,
Yeah,
too, to
they were
like help
helping
their
out
kids
their-
like that.
Their kids and their grandkids.
Not everybody goes through that same thing
No.
when they find themselves young and pregnant.
Definitely not.
We've all seen the show, in fact.
Exactly. Then in 1987, tragedy struck when Chip's older brother Rod died of illness.
Oh.
It was in May. And around the same time, the daycare center where Reba was employed had to close down.
Oh, shit.
The closure meant that not only was Reba now out of a job, but the parents who were using that daycare, they were out of childcare.
Yeah.
So Reba's sister, Jamie Moore, and Reba she had also worked at the daycare. They both were like, what can we do to help people? Because like all these people just lost their daycare.
Yeah, that's
and
a
they all
big
have to
deal.
work.
Right.
So they were like, what can we do to help with this? So they agreed to have kind of like their own daycare at the house, but basically it was like we'll just watch these kids.
Kind of like a makeshift
For these people, like a
daycare.
makeshift, like the two of them.
Nice.
People could drop the kids off at Jamie's house, the sister, and we'll just watch them until these parents can find a better solution.
Okay,
which is like
that's
really
nice.
selfless.
That's community right there.
That's pretty rad. So to make matters worse, though, Chip was growing a little frustrated by the lack of consistency in his work as a day laborer, because
Yeah,
it is
that's
really
tough, I'm sure.
inconsistent. For months, he had been talking to the owner of the Sportsman's Den, which was a local sporting goods store. And basically this guy was like, oh yeah, I have a job. I'm going to hire you.
Oh.
But he kept kind of like stringing him along.
Yep.
And by October, the owner of that place was still dragging his feet. So Chip just continued working as a day laborer until more was coming through. On the morning of October 14th, 1987, Chip was working as part of a painting crew. He was painting a big apartment complex in Midland when he heard the news announce that a child had fallen into a well somewhere in West Midland. And rescue workers were trying to get her out.
Oh, shit.
Chip literally remembers hearing that and thinking, those poor people.
Oh.
And it wasn't until 2 hours later, while Chip was eating his lunch back at the office of the painting company, that the wife of the company owner told him, Chip, I don't know how to tell you this. Your daughter fell into a well, and a police officer is on the way to pick you up.
Oh, my God.
And he was like, I'm sorry, what? That's my daughter?
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Also, just think like, this is such a different time period.
Yeah.
Like, his wife couldn't frantically call him.
Exactly.
And poor Reba, like, her daughter is in a well.
And she can't
get in
immediately
touch
get hold
with
of him?
their father. Like,
yeah, like it's
oh
not
my
like
God.
she can just call him on the cell phone or
No.
something. And,
Holy
yeah.
shit.
Yeah. Horrifying. Now, for Reba, the morning of October 14th had started like any other day, too, since the daycare had shut down, especially. She arrived early at Jamie's house with Jessica and began greeting the other parents as they dropped off their children before heading to their jobs or whatever they needed to do. Around 10 a.m., Reba was outside in the backyard watching the children play when she heard the phone ring. Since the yard was fenced in and she was still able to see the children from the kitchen window, she went inside and answered the phone. When Reba came back a few minutes later, she saw several of the children near the back end of the yard standing around a well in Jamie's yard.
Oh, no.
The well had been drilled in the yard about 15 years earlier, but as far as Jamie knew, it hadn't been used in at least 15 years. And in the weeks and months after this whole thing, Jamie and her husband insisted that this well had been capped.
Oh.
But it became a little unclear whether it had been capped professionally, like a professional came in and actually capped it, or if it was just simply covered.
Okay.
Which is a little different.
Yeah.
But, according to Lunsford, and these are people that will obviously be linked in the show notes, accounts vary on whether the well opening had been covered with a rock or a flower pot.
Oh, okay.
So it might not have been professionally capped, but
it was still capped nonetheless.
I don't know that. This is all just conjecture. It remains unknown exactly what happened in the couple of minutes that Reba was in the house on the phone. But in that time, Jessica had wandered over to the well and fallen about 20 feet into the 8-inch wide hole in the ground.
What?
8 inches. Yeah. At first, Reba called the kids away from the well, and then she realized she didn't see Jessica.
Oh my God.
Her moment of sheer terror was only exacerbated seconds later when she heard little cries of mommy, mommy from 20 feet down in the ground and realized Jessica was trapped in the well.
And how old is she?
She's like 18 months old.
Oh my God.
Reba told a reporter later, I didn't know what to do. I just ran in and called the police. They were there within 3 minutes, but it felt like a lifetime.
I'm sure.
This story gets harrowing.
I was going to say it already is. This episode is brought to you by SoFi, the all-in-one finance app where you can bank, borrow, and invest all in one place. Let's talk about bank accounts for a second. The average bank savings rate is 0.39% in interest. You're earning pennies on your savings, and it doesn't have to be that way. But with SoFi's high-yield checkings and savings, the money barely making moves sitting in your savings account can earn over 8 times the national average savings rate with eligible direct deposit. No account or overdraft fees. We love transparency. You can get your paycheck up to 2 days early, plus get up to a $300 welcome bonus when you sign up with eligible direct deposit. Sign up for SoFi checking and savings at SoFi.com/morbid. SoFi checking and savings is offered through SoFi Bank, N.A., member FDIC. Terms apply. Do you remember in school when you just knew that your teacher had a favorite of everything? They would always use the same blue dry erase marker when they wrote on the board, or they would talk nonstop about their favorite element during science. I had a teacher once that literally had a favorite brand of marker. She would only write with specific markers, and if another marker ended up in her classroom, she was TO'd. And honestly, I was probably her favorite student because at the end of the year, I got her that specific brand of marker. Let's talk about their real favorite thing though, their favorite tissue brand. Kleenex. According to teacher lists, they are the #1 facial tissue trusted by teachers. Kleenex Ultra Soft tissues are silky soft to help prevent skin irritation, and now you can take them anywhere with Kleenex Snap and Go. I absolutely love Kleenex Snap and Go. It's so perfect to have that in your car. I had a cold last week and I was just, honey, my nose was a faucet. I hate to do this to you, but it was disgusting. Drew literally came out of our garage with like 15 of the Kleenex Snap and Goes, and I put those in my glove compartment, and honey, they were easy access. It was so nice knowing that I didn't have to blow my nose into like an old wrapper that I had. Ew. So do the best thing for your kids' teachers and stock up on the ultimate classroom favorite. Maybe it'll make them their teacher's favorite student. They definitely have a favorite. Don't even get me started because, again, you know it was me. For whatever happens next, grab Kleenex. The best summer pieces are the ones you end up wearing on repeat. Comfortable, versatile, and somehow right for almost every occasion. Quince makes it easy to create a summer wardrobe that you'll love, with elevated essentials made from premium materials like European linen, organic cotton, and washable silk, without the traditional retail markup. I love that! Quince's 100% European linen pants, dresses, and tops are the pieces that you absolutely will reach for all summer long. I absolutely love their linen. I have so many pairs of their linen pants, which you can dress up or you can dress down in the summer. Like, say you're going to a nice dinner, you can pair it with like a silk shirt, a really cute necklace, some good, makeup and an updo. Or if you're just looking for a more casual look, you can do the linen pants with like a loose button-up shirt and you still look really chic, kind of like, I don't know, Diane Keaton vibes, I kind of think. Also, it's not just apparel. Quince also offers elevated essentials for your home, from bedding and bath to kitchen essentials and furniture. They have it all, honey. I am a big lover of Quince, and I really do think you will be too. Make your summer wardrobe feel easier. Go to quince.com/morbid for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. Now available in Canada too. That's QUINCE.com/morbid for free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/morbid.
Now, the first person to arrive on the scene was Midland police officer B.J. Hall. And when he flashed his light down the well, it was too dark. He couldn't see anything. And he later recalled in I think it was a 2025 interview, actually. He said, "I called the baby's name 3 or 4 times and didn't hear anything. Finally, I got a cry in response.
Oh.
We didn't know how deep she was until we lowered a tape hooked to a flashlight into the hole." Although it seemed impossible, it turned out that Jessica had somehow managed to fit into the 8-inch pipe and fallen exactly 22 feet down. The pipe actually went down a lot further than that, but Jessica had come to a stop in a crouching position into a section of the well that had been eroded from runoff to become between 11 and 14 inches.
Oh.
One leg was pinned above her forehead.
Oh.
So that's how she was stopped. Below
my
her,
God.
yeah, below her, the pipe narrowed to 6 inches. So it would have been impossible for her to go further.
Yeah. But still, she had made it down pretty fucking
she's
far.
really far down.
And her leg is stuck in that position.
Pinned above her head, which is not good for blood flow.
No.
Now, when Officer Hall realized how serious this situation was, he called the station and asked for a rescue team to be assembled and dispatched to the house. A short time after that, the team, which had Midland police and fire officers, as well as utility and state highway workers, arrived at the house, followed by a large, or actually at this point, it was more like a medium number of local reporters and photographers.
Nice.
They had all heard the news on the scanner. Now, Chip McClure remembers arriving at the house a little after 12:30 p.m., still confused and pretty dazed by the news.
Yeah, he's probably in shock.
As far as he knew, his wife and daughter weren't even supposed to be at Jamie's house that day, so he was like, this just felt like unfathomable that this was happening.
Oh my God, the fact they weren't even supposed to be there.
As soon as he got there, he felt a hand on his shoulder and heard the deep voice of Midland Police Chief Richard Check, who said, "Don't worry, son, we'll have her out of there before too long."
Oh.
Now, by that time, rescue workers had lowered a light, camera, and microphone into the well, which gave them the ability to not only see and hear Jessica, but also to see the space where she was stuck.
Okay.
Unfortunately, a lot of the camera's view was obscured by a pile of bamboo leaves that the children had dropped down the well after she fell.
Guys.
It was later explained that, and they were young, so it was later explained that they had been playing a game of throwing things into the well, and then Jessica fell in. And they just continued to throw things in the well until they realized that, like, oh, she's not coming out.
Oh, no.
Like, they were young.
Yeah,
like,
they
didn't understand, like, oh, she's just going to come out.
Stuck.
Like, no. Now, before they could attempt any kind of rescue, emergency workers had a lot of things to think about here. Thanks to the microphone, they were now able to know that Jessica could tell them herself that she was not harmed in any acutely dangerous
She's also
way.
like 18 months old.
Yeah, like
so.
she's saying like I'm
I'm okay.
pain, you're like I'm not bleeding, like that kind of thing. But the position she's stuck with one leg essentially raised above her head could cause problems with blood flow depending on how long she's in that well.
Right.
The next important thing to consider was hypothermia. Obviously, that's not something you really have to worry about in Texas very often, but the temperature in the well would have been a lot cooler than that at the surface.
Okay.
So there was a risk. And in order to test that, they, Sergeant Andy, and we're all going to have to get past this name because we're adults, okay?
Are we?
Sergeant Andy Glasscock.
You're asking me to get past
I just need to get it out, everybody.
Okay.
I'm going to give everybody listening right now a moment. Just get it. We're not none of us are immune to a funny last name.
We're not. Poor Andy. That had to have been rough growing
None of
up.
us are immune to a funny last name. And if you are, then you are better than I am.
Man.
But okay, so there it is. You got your moment.
Okay.
Andy Glasscock is here. And he lowered a plastic thermometer down into the well, and he got a temperature reading of 65 degrees.
Okay.
So that temperature, it was not life-threatening.
Yeah, that's not so bad.
But it was going to get colder as the day went on, and especially after dark.
Yeah.
But nobody thought they would be there after dark, but they were like, you know what? Which, again, this seemed like it was handled very well. Like
That's good.
Like this, they didn't hesitate on anything, which is like really impressive at this time.
Especially it doesn't always happen in cases like this.
No, and it's like, so they were like, you know what? I don't think she's going to be in there after dark. We want to get her the fuck out of there really fast. But they were like, we need to do something to just have in place. So someone placed a call to the Southwestern Bell Telephone Company office, and a short time later, a large truck arrived with fans that blew low currents of warm air down the well.
Oh, that was
so
smart.
it wasn't like hot air blasting at her. It was just like
nice
low,
warm air.
just warm air, so she would not start shivering and like
Aww.
And Andy said, I'm just going to call him Andy.
Yeah, good idea.
Andy said, everything we asked for, we got in minutes.
Nice.
And it really was the super fast and prompt attention from the local community that turned this from a potential tragedy into a national moment of like straight up unity. Like it's when you hear how everyone came together and who just volunteered to do things, it's like, damn, especially with the way the world is right now, it had me almost in tears because I was like, I just want life to be like that again.
I know.
Where like people just, which
help
I know
each
there
other.
are, like, that's the thing. I know there are, like, if you look hard enough, people are there for each other and people jump in for each other and people do this.
We're just in a time where more harrowing, terrible
Yeah.
examples are being
And I
shared.
think like with social media, we're like so bombarded with the worst of people.
Yeah. That we
like
don't
on a
always get the
daily
best.
basis. Like Like, so much so that, like, we'll post this episode, and I'm like, I hope everyone's nice.
Yeah.
Because it's like, you know what I mean? Like, which you guys usually are. You always get that, like, one asshole who pops in just to be a dick.
Yeah.
But it's like, that's what it's like, this, you can't look around and not see negativity and nastiness.
You can't always depend on humanity, so it's nice to see examples where they could depend on the humanity
so it's like,
of
and
everyone.
I just want us to be there again where like you're shocked by like negativity, you know what I mean? Like where you're just like, what the fuck is this person doing? Where now I feel like it's just, you're like, oh, well, we're going to get some asshole who just has a bad day and wants to take it out on everybody.
It's the anonymity of everything.
So it's like this social media, I just feel like I'm hoping I keep seeing like that pendulum swinging the other way where people are just not putting up with it anymore.
Yeah.
And seeing the dangers of it. And I'm hoping that keeps swinging.
I hope so too.
Because you're all great. Everybody
we like
listening.
you a lot.
But yeah, so this really is one of those things though that you're just like, damn.
I love a story like
this
that.
This will honestly, it'll make you say, I wish things were like this, but then it will make you say, but if I look hard enough, it is like this.
Yeah.
Like there are people like this. So because none of the adults had seen Jessica fall into the well, they had no idea how she'd managed to get that far down in the first place. But what they did know was that however she'd gotten in was definitely not the way they could get her out.
Right.
It was just too far down. After about an hour, after BJ Hall had arrived at the scene, work crews had attempted to drill a wider hole in order to reach her.
Okay.
But the vibrations from the drilling had caused her to slip a little further.
Ugh.
So although the pipe beneath her, like we said before, was too narrow for her to really fall too much deeper, they were worried that, you know, any further drilling at the site might have collapsed the well entirely, and that would kill Jessica.
Yeah, absolutely.
So based on their early experience with drilling, it became pretty clear to rescue workers that they were facing a situation way more complicated than what they had expected. Basically, any attempt to drill down into the earth with standard construction tools could make the situation fatal, to be honest. The first problem was the way she was positioned. It made it impossible to pull her directly up and out.
Because of her leg.
Because of her leg. She was just wedged in a weird way. And the more significant problem, though, was geology.
Yeah.
Essentially, directly underneath the pretty soft sandy soil that was above the water table in the ground, there was a deep layer of limestone bedrock that had developed during an extremely dry period that was, roughly 100 million years earlier.
Yeah.
So that layer of rock had developed and compressed to the point over 100 million years that it literally couldn't be penetrated by common drill bits.
That makes sense.
Just couldn't. So not only would the repeat attempts result in an endless stream of broken and burned out drill bits, but they would cause small tremors in the ground, and each one would destabilize an already really precarious situation in the well.
Yeah, that's not great. I also just felt like I was in like geology class again.
Yeah,
that's
talking
nuts.
about bedrock and shit. Now, as the day wore on and it became apparent that things were going to be longer than they originally thought, the rescue team now had new things to think about.
Okay.
Using a 40-foot rigging drill, they determined they could dig a parallel shaft down into the earth.
Okay.
Like right next to the well. And then tunnel across and up to access Jessica from below.
Okay, even that is like wildly impressive.
That would be a difficult job under normal circumstances, but in this case, they're going to have to move agonizingly slow.
To not disturb anything
Because they can't
or vibrate
cause those
in
tremors.
the earth. Right.
Yeah. So, yeah, they couldn't make that happen. So rescuers had to move incredibly slow, drilling about 4 inches per hour.
Oh my God.
And stopping every few minutes to make sure everything was stable and that Jessica was still doing okay.
4 inches per hour?
Yeah. At that rate, it would take more than 3 days to reach her. Assuming they worked around the clock.
How is that even doable?
As well, no one thought it was going to take that long, but it would take longer than expected. They were like, no, we're going to make this happen faster than that.
Is she going to like be starving and like dehydrated?
Well, definitely dehydrated. You can go that long without eating. Won't feel good, but like...
Just such a little body.
She's a bebe.
I know.
So they had solved the issue of hypothermia with the fans from Southwestern Bell. But now that she was expected to be down in the well for at least a day or more, there were more risks now. Given the scope of what they were planning to undertake here, it was no longer just a matter of Jessica's safety. Although some of the men at the scene were experienced in mining or working in the like small spaces, working in such a small space meant that air was going to be limited, not just for Jessica, but for everybody else.
Oh,
So
I didn't
to
even think of that.
Yeah, like that. Who would have thought of that? So to ensure the proper flow of oxygen, they lowered air hoses into the well and into the parallel shaft as well, which connected to a rescue vehicle on the surface that was providing oxygen.
Wow, that's fascinating.
Yeah. By that afternoon, several other experts had been called to the scene, including several mining experts, flown to the scene from Carlsbad on a private jet paid for by Midland Oil.
Wow.
And Dr. Chip Klunick, an emergency room doctor from nearby Midland Memorial Hospital.
Oh, shit.
While the mining experts were kind of helping to come up with the best strategy to dig the second shaft, the parallel one, the doctor was on hand to provide insight on how to make sure Jessica was going to be okay from the surface down.
Right.
Obviously, the most pressing issues were related to, oxygen. We were talking about food and water. The matter of oxygen was now settled, and it was unlikely that Jessica was going to starve.
Yeah.
It wasn't, again, not great, but she wasn't going to starve to death. So that left hydration.
Right.
Because that's the more pressing one. At first, emergency workers planned to send a bottle of water down the shaft.
Oh.
But that plan was called off when Dr. Klunick pointed out, which was very smart of him to point out, that they had no way of knowing whether she had suffered any internal injuries. Oh. And that could be highly exacerbated by consuming food or drink.
Oh, shit.
Instead, he suggested they hold off on sending anything else to Jessica, but added that they would need to reconsider if it went on for very much longer.
Okay.
But he's like,
that might not be a great idea.
So much worse. And Midland police, Midland police spokesman Jim White told reporters, the emergency room doctor at the scene said the baby can last as long as 36 hours. We hope it doesn't take that long.
Yeah.
Now they're on like a time clock.
Yeah.
Like big time. By the next morning, Jamie Moore's backyard and front yard, along with the surrounding neighbors' yards, were just crawling with emergency workers, reporters, onlookers. There were 3 major networks, ABC, CBS, and NBC, and their local affiliates, as well as the newly established cable news network, CNN.
Newly established, wow.
Yeah, it had only been in operation for 7 years at that point.
That's crazy.
And they had not found like a foothold really in the television market, which is wild to think of.
Yeah, that is.
Since since television news had kind of happened like 4 decades before this, viewers had become accustomed to getting their morning news from the local papers.
Okay.
And the evening news came via the evening editions and the local and national nightly news. So it was like you got little bloops of news. You didn't get
it wasn't
round the clock news.
Maybe that was the secret.
I remember so vividly, like my parents just watching the nightly news. It was not on. We did not have a news station on in our house all day because there wasn't one. Like they sat down, they got a little digest of what was going on in the world, and then that was it. You weren't bombarded with every single thing that is happening in the world.
That's inconceivable to me because like my whole life, I just remember news was on in the morning, news was on in the afternoon, news was on at night.
It is, in my personal, this is just my opinion.
Yeah.
I think it's just my opinion. I think it's so much better for your nervous system.
I think so too. I don't think we're meant to know everything all the time.
I don't want to know.
No.
Everything that's going on.
I take news breaks.
I need to,
if I go on vacation, I take a full break from the news.
You just got a little digestible, little appetizer,
Yeah.
But yeah, it was rough. So basically, few people saw the need for a round-the-clock news channel because they were like, no, this is working pretty well. We don't need to know. Because as far as most people were concerned at this point in time in the 80s, there couldn't possibly be that many news stories that required such a high level of ongoing coverage.
Wow.
So they were like, why do I need that?
That's nuts.
What the channel needed was an opportunity to prove its value to viewers. In the story of baby Jessica, CNN President Ted Turner saw precisely that.
Yeah.
Who was it? The reporter Mark Rohn wrote in 2021, the ongoing developments of a living, breathing baby trapped helplessly underground would help shape a 24-hour news cycle that people could connect with at any moment of the day.
Hey.
Yeah. Well, the story was certainly enough to capture the attention and obviously the sympathies of the entire fucking nation. The fact remained that the rescue operation itself was so fucking slow that there wasn't even that many updates. It's like, yep, we're still trying to get her out of the well.
We got 4 more inches into the ground.
Yep, we're getting there. Instead, the press focused on the human story at the center of the event.
I'm sure, yeah.
They talked to family members, neighbors, members of the community who had pitched in to help. Pat Brister, who was one of the neighbors, told a reporter, "You don't get tears as long as there's hope."
Yeah, that's nice.
Their comment underscores how invested everyone had come in this rescue effort. And like another neighbor, Maxon Sprague, described for reporters how the whole thing had unfolded. And they said, "My God, Jessica's fallen into a well." And he said that I can just remember Reba, like my neighbor, saying, "My baby has fallen into a well." And he said she was hysterical. She was yelling, but I would too. That's her child. When they ran out of neighbors and family members to talk to, reporters shifted to talking to the rescuers who were not actively trying to rescue Jessica at the moment. Like the neighbors and onlookers, the rescuers also emphasized that there was this spirit of hope and community that they had never seen before and that reporters just couldn't get enough of.
Yeah.
Oscar Robinson, who was the owner of a local excavation company, told reporters how he'd volunteered his equipment as soon as he heard about the emergency. And that was like a big sacrifice for him because he was losing thousands of dollars a day by not renting those machines.
I'm sure, yeah.
But he didn't mind. And when they asked him about it, he said, "I have grandchildren of my own."
Oh.
And I was like, oh.
He said, "That's a baby in that
He said,
well."
"That's my baby down there."
Oh.
Now, those who didn't have any particular expertise to offer still gathered around the property to just stand vigil and show their support. One supporter said, "I've got a grandson here that's just about twice as old as that little girl. I can feel for that, Mama."
Oh.
Several people visited the site a bunch of times throughout the day, either to check on the progress or just to show support for the family. Midland resident Hetty Bohannon said, "I've just been praying constantly." She and a friend had stopped by the site twice on the 15th to be with their community, and she said, "I couldn't imagine it happening to me." Now, it's not difficult to understand why this would capture people's attention. It's the emergency rescue of a baby in distress.
Right.
But the response was a lot greater than anybody expected, to be honest. Mark Bone said, "For those miles and miles away from Midland, the real-time live images made them feel present, right there with that child and her parents in this horrific situation. People felt that by watching, they were helping, with some viewers even skipping work to watch TV until they knew she was rescued."
Oh.
It was like no one could take even a second out of their day to not, they were like, "We need to not see the end of this.
Right.
Like, I need to see her rescued before I can lay my head down."
Oh.
Now, while the crew of rescuer workers drilled down to reach Jessica, Reba, Chip, and countless others did their best to just keep her distracted and occupied because we couldn't just leave her in there with no one talking to her. When Jessica wasn't napping or crying, she could be heard singing verses of Winnie the Pooh to herself.
Stop. I'm gonna
Which makes me want to cry. I just got a lump in my throat.
Because she's just like
She just loves Winnie
self-soothing.
the Pooh. Or she was just talking to her mom.
Which I love Winnie the Pooh so much too.
Detective Bill Sego told a reporter on the afternoon of October 15th, she's done a little crying, a little singing. I would say 80% of the time she was either crying or making some kind of noise we could hear. And then our friend Andy there said, when we weren't calling words of encouragement, we tell her to sing for us.
Oh.
Which,
Andy.
I'm dying.
Yeah. Sing Winnie the Pooh,
dying.
girl.
In the early morning hours of October 16th, the slow, meticulous drilling finally paid off a little.
Okay.
By sunrise, the rescue crew managed to dig about 6 feet lower than where Jessica was stuck. Then they dug slightly up and across,
Okay.
drilling out an 18-inch hole into the old well. The achievement came as a surprise to the worker operating the drill, who didn't expect success, to be honest. Spokesman Jim White said he was leaning against, not particularly expecting to get through this time, and all of a sudden, it gave.
Nice.
Now, the hole in the wall of the well gave them access to Jessica, but it still didn't get them enough room to get her out.
Oh, okay.
The second shaft was only about 14 inches wide, and given the position Jessica was stuck in, there wasn't a lot of room for the rescuer to reposition her.
Okay.
So as it was, there was only one man at the scene, who was paramedic Robert O'Donnell, who was slender enough to fit into the hole that led to Jessica. Andy later said, "It's so damn frustrating when you can hear her down there and you can't do anything about it."
Right.
And he was the one that was trying to get her out of the well, Robert O'Donnell, and he was able to get down there. He just couldn't shimmy her out.
Right.
And that first failure to free Jessica from the well came as just a wild disappointment to everyone. But Robert O'Donnell took it the hardest at that moment. From the moment rescue workers arrived at the scene days earlier at this point, stress and pressure had been building and everyone was just emotionally and physically exhausted. They knew what it meant if they couldn't get Jessica out.
Yeah.
And for O'Donnell, their first failed attempt was just soul crushing. He was sitting on the curb and he just broke down sobbing. And he told his wife, she's right there. I can't get to her.
I can't imagine.
Everyone's
that level of
depending on me and I can't get her.
Yeah, that's a lot of
And it's
pressure.
That just like shatters my soul for
And
him.
it's like a
because-
baby is right there, and she's in pain, and her leg is stuck, and
Yeah.
she hasn't eaten. Like, poor little babe, and
Yeah,
the poor
like,
rescuers.
It's just
It's an impossible situation.
and it's like you can hear like our guy Andy being like, she's right there. Like we
Right.
can hear her, we can see her, and we just can't get her.
Right.
And then he's saying the same thing, Robert O'Donnell. He's like, I can literally touch her,
Right.
and I can't get her out. Like,
Right.
And if I don't get her out, she's gonna die in a well.
Yeah.
And her parents are
And
just
that's
gonna
all
deal
on
with that.
me.
And he feels like it's somehow like his responsibility, even though he's being very brave going down there in the first place.
Yeah. This is a paid ad by BetterHelp. I happen to be somebody that struggles with people pleasing. So a lot of times I will build things up and up and up and up and up and then kind of get to the point where I'm like, I need to let this out to this person. Even in 2026, that stigma and just stigma in general can get in the way of a lot of things, like getting support for your mental health. Maybe you've encouraged friends to consider therapy while avoiding taking that first step yourself because you're busy. You're worried about what other people might think, or telling yourself that you should handle this all alone. But therapy with BetterHelp, the world's largest online therapy platform, can be a space to slow down and talk through what's been building before it feels unmanageable. Just take a short questionnaire to identify your needs and preferences, and BetterHelp will handle the initial therapist matching work for you. Their industry-leading match rate means BetterHelp typically gets it right the first time. Feel confident knowing BetterHelp therapists work according to a strict code of conduct and are fully qualified. Don't let hesitation hold you back. Find support with BetterHelp. Sign up and get 10% off at betterhelp.com/morbid. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/morbid.
Okay, imagine this. A honeybee is out here doing her thing in an orchard, lands on a mystery apple blossom, then carries that pollen over to a Honeycrisp tree. Fast forward a few months, and no exaggeration, something amazing is born. The Sugar Bee apple, packed with notes of honey, caramel, and molasses, plus an extra crisp crunch. Sugar Bee apples are perfect for snacking, baking, and everything in between. Download our new free recipe book and find a store near you at hellosugarbee.com. Sugar Bee apples, naturally sweet, from bee to you.
You know that thing where you get an amazing pair of shoes at a really great price and want to tell everyone about it? Yeah, so do we. Here at Designer Shoe Warehouse, we'll give you something to brag about. Like the latest styles from brands you love, or the trends everyone's obsessing over, or shoes that make you feel like, well, you. So go ahead, show off a little. Find shoes that get you at prices that get your budget. Head to your DSW store or DSW.com today. DSW, let us surprise you.
Now, at the time, several of the paramedics and doctors at the scene questioned whether it was wise for O'Donnell to get back in the shaft a second time because he had experienced such an emotional shift. At that point, he was like inconsolable,
Yeah.
but no one was willing to hold him back either, and he wasn't having it.
Okay.
According to Lance Lunford, those who knew O'Donnell best say this was the moment that changed his life. He would never be the same person again. Now, it wasn't just O'Donnell who first felt defeated. Nearly everyone at the scene started to wonder whether hope and effort at this point had been for absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
CNN's Tony Clark said, as the hours went on, you thought the chances of her surviving were less and less. From the moment the rescue effort began, everyone seemed super confident that despite the insanity of this situation and the significant obstacles, they were going to get Jessica out. But by the third day, confidence was starting to slip, and people were beginning to accept that it was possible that she may die in that well.
Oh my God.
Now, on the evening of October 17th, Robert O'Donnell went back into the shaft and crawled through the hole that led to Jessica. And this time, he brought several jars of KY jelly with him, like Vaseline.
Okay.
And he reached in with his arms and he started slathering it all over the walls of the well.
Smart.
Hoping that it would free her from her position a little better and not have her like scratch against things.
Right.
But, and this is just like, I'm so glad that he's such like a good human. Like he has such a good human heart. Cause like, no, I wouldn't have thought of this either. He said when he pulled on her foot, her shoe came off in his hand and he heard Jessica say, no. And she began kicking her foot at him like, no. And it occurred to him she had no fucking clue what was happening.
Yeah,
at
she
that
doesn't
moment.
know who. Oh my God, and she probably thinks it's like a monster.
Yeah, he's like, she has no idea what is below her trying to grab her.
Yeah.
So he stopped his grabbing and he reached up to touch her face so she could feel his human hand.
Oh.
And he called out to her using the family nickname that they used for her, which was Juicy. Juicy Jessica.
It.
Isn't that adorable?
I'm obsessed.
She's so cute.
Oh my God. I have
And
already
so-
looked at pictures. The cutest little babe.
So he was saying like using her nickname and like showing her that like he's a human being. Like
yeah.
trying to like
and like I'm
soothe
trying to
her.
help you.
And finally, after pulling for a few minutes, Jessica slipped through the hole in the side of the well and into Robert O'Donnell's hands.
What a good man.
It like gave me, I was like,
What a
tearing
good
up.
man.
Now on the surface, there was a moment of panic as the microphone went dead and no one could hear Jessica anymore because she was just chattering away before.
Yeah.
And Andy remembers thinking in that moment, oh my God, she might be dead.
Right.
Then there was this huge surge of like just triumph when O'Donnell emerged from the shaft and handed Jessica off to a paramedic, Steve Forbes. After 58 hours in a well, Jessica McClure was finally free.
58 hours.
58 hours.
That is beyond.
unthinkable.
A little baby girl. Not
Little
even,
baby.
what is 18 months?
That's barely over a year.
I was going to say that's not, is that 2? Hello?
No,
that's
24
not 2.
would be
24
2.
is 2.
Yeah.
Clearly I'm not a mother.
Yeah. Then you'll start counting in months after that.
Exactly.
Now, when the moment finally came, this big cheer erupted from the hundreds of rescue workers and onlookers who had waited anxiously for this moment. Jessica was carried to a nearby ambulance where Reba waited, and they were rushed to Midland Memorial Hospital, and her father was close behind in a police car. And although she had managed to survive, she was not without injury, obviously.
Yeah, her leg has been over her head that long.
Well, and she lost 15% of her body fluids, and she was seriously dehydrated.
Yeah, I knew that
Her
was gonna be the
oxygen
case.
levels were low, despite what they were trying to do. And more importantly, because of the loss of circulation in her leg, she had developed gangrene in her foot.
Oh, shit.
And the emergency room doctors were concerned they would need to amputate her leg.
Oh, no.
Before any of that, though, she was placed in a hyperbaric chamber where oxygen was forced into her lungs, essentially. And it would be several days before they knew whether or not they were going to be able to do surgery.
That must have been so scary for her,
Yeah.
too, because
Now she's
just
in
been
another chamber.
Exactly.
Yeah. Now, outside of Midland, it seemed like the entire world had stopped to celebrate Jessica's rescue. Across the United States, all the major networks interrupted their regular broadcasts to announce that the girl had made it out of the well alive,
Oh.
proving that all the community support and effort had indeed made a difference. And CBS's Bruce Hall said, it's events like this that restore your faith in humanity.
Yeah.
You can literally feel the love and prayers for this little girl.
Oh.
Now, in the hours after that, regular progress updates about Jessica's condition were announced as soon as they came in. Dr. Carolyn Rhodes said in a press conference that evening, considering everything Jessica's been through, she's a very spunky little girl and she's doing great.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
What a queen.
She also described the extent of Jessica's injuries. She had dropped from 21 pounds to a little over 17.
Wow.
She had some scrapes and bruises, and she said there is a danger that she could lose the right foot.
Okay. Oh, well,
She-
now it's just down to the foot.
Now it's down to the foot. And she spent more than a month in the hospital where she was stabilized and received several skin grafts after surgeons amputated just her little toe on her right foot.
Okay.
They were able to do that.
I don't even think we need a little toe.
They were able to I mean, it's good to have for stabilization. But,
Yeah.
you know.
You have
but
four
who needs
others.
it, you know? So they were able to save the rest of her leg, though. Her
Good.
leg was saved. Her foot was saved.
That's
It's
huge.
just the little toe, which I think she'll take at this
I
point.
also think you should get a discount on pedicures. That's 9 toes, not 10.
I hope she does.
Yeah, they should
you
be
see
giving
that
her that.
name on your pedicure thing, give her a discount.
Yeah, give Jessica a discount.
Now, the story of baby Jessica is as much about the media and audiences as it is about this little baby girl trapped in a terrible
Yeah.
situation. In the wake of her rescue, Jessica became kind of a celebrity, appearing at local events and on news programs, and even taking a trip to the White House to meet then President George W. Bush in 1989.
W.
When Ronald Reagan reflected on the event, he said, everybody in America became godmothers and godfathers of Jessica while this was going on.
Yeah.
While the story of baby Jessica had a happy ending, it wasn't always so positive.
Oh.
Some conservative politicians used this accident as an opportunity to attack working mothers.
Nice. That's
which is
awesome.
pretty great.
Love to see that.
Using Jessica's experience as an example of negligence and the many dangers of daycares.
Oh, fuck off.
Which is like, don't do that.
No. Her mama
Do
was
not do
right
that.
there.
It can happen. This kind of shit can happen in a blink.
Oh, kids
Are
kids
wily.
get into shit
Yeah.
so easily. You look away for 1 second, which
Yeah.
is everybody has had that. Like,
Exactly.
not this happen,
Yeah.
obviously, but had
No.
something happen where you're like, fuck.
Yeah, it was a convergence of events that was just, a tough situation.
Yeah.
Now, back in Midland, resentment grew between some of the rescuers and the volunteers as well, basically arguing who had more of a
Guys, you
spot in
worked
here.
together
I
and you
know.
figured it out.
Yeah.
You pat yourselves on the back and go about life.
Yeah, like the two groups eventually formed their own associations and went on to have a pretty public fight over the television rights to the story.
What the fuck?
So like people are always gonna be people. It's
That's
that's
the
just
thing.
unfortunate.
I'm like, why can't you guys just appear together?
Robert O'Donnell told the New York Times, "I hate to see it split the rescuers like this.
Yeah.
But our story is the real story. We were the major players."
Oh, okay.
So like he's saying like, I think he's also saying like, this sucks that it's being split. Like,
Yeah, I think he's also probably like, hey, I went down in
I
a
went in
hole
the
and
well.
saved that
Like,
child.
I went
So
in
like,
there.
if I was Robert O'Donnell, I'd be like, you guys can all shut up because it was me.
because it was me. But most tragic of all is O'Donnell himself, who was very quiet and very private before the incident.
Oh.
His rescue of Jessica thrust him into the spotlight and made him an American hero.
Yeah,
like
which is
in a
great.
blink. To everyone's surprise, Robert embraced his new role as a recognizable hero, and he was fine with the attention at first.
Okay.
But as is generally the case, the spotlight eventually fades, and people stopped recognizing him. And to make matters worse, he was developing PTSD from the whole thing related to the rescue effort, and he turned to some stuff to cope. He just was struggling.
Yeah,
a little
that's
bit.
a lot.
A few years later, he was fired from the Midland fire department for showing up to work under the influence.
Oh.
So he was struggling.
That's sad.
He has a very tragic story.
Yeah.
In 1993, he moved in with his parents and tried to get sober and start a new life in Huntsville. He found a job working with prisoners at Ellis Unit, and things started going in the right direction. He was really going, like, he was moving on up.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, though, on the night of April 23rd, 1993, which is not long after the incident,
No.
he experienced some kind of emotional setback that remains unclear to those who knew him. And that night, after watching the wall-to-wall coverage of the Oklahoma City bombing on the news,
Oh.
which
Probably some kind
not
of PTSD.
not great, he used his father's shotgun to end his life,
Oh.
which is like really tragic.
Yeah, that's horrific.
His brother Ricky said nobody really knew what he had done with the Jessica rescue down there in Huntsville, and they didn't care. And he didn't like just being a regular person again.
Well, because he's not
Which it
just a
has to be
regular person.
really tough. I mean, he went through all that emotional shit during the rescue,
Right.
where it's like the failure and then the triumph, and then
And
you're
everybody
thrust into the
thrusts you
spotlight.
into
You're
this.
a hero, and you're this, and you're that, and then you're no one.
Yeah, that's a lot.
I don't know. Like, that must be a really tough emotional, and you're dealing with PTSD from the whole thing,
Right.
which is something that I'm sure a lot of people listening can relate to.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's a fucking demon that is really tough to overcome.
And then to get sober is
And then
such
to get
a feat.
sober, and then
to
have
work
to
with
see
prisoners.
wall-to-wall coverage of this tragedy that's happening, which again, I just don't think we're meant to see wall-to-wall news coverage.
Well, I think
don't
it
we
leaves a
are.
lot of people like, I think when you gain hope, it's such a,
Yeah.
it's so precarious because you gain hope and you're like, oh, I see like all the good in the world. And
then
then
something
one
will
little
take it
thing can
down.
tear you down.
And that's why, and I'm not meaning for this to be like a PSA of wall-to-wall 24-hour news
No, but
cycles.
it's a theme in the
But
story.
I do think it's like, it shows you that like, we're not meant to see all the horrible shit that's happening in the world.
No.
We're just not meant to absorb all of it all
No,
the time.
we're not.
And I know that, like, and I'm not trying to say like you need to turn a blind eye and you need to like do all this, because that, please know that that's not what I'm saying. If that's what you take from this, you took that from this.
Yeah,
I
and you're
didn't say
wrong.
it. And I'm saying like, when it, like you just said, you get this like bit of hope, and then something will slide in, something even innocuous or something that could be seemingly innocuous to someone else, that'll just fucking destroy it all.
Right.
And it's like, that's tough. We're only humans. We only have the mind of human beings. We only have the emotional capacity of human beings. And it's okay if it's fucking hard to digest all the shit that's coming in all at once.
Is.
And it's okay to step back a little bit.
Yeah.
And
I
need a
also,
minute.
I do
Please
think
know.
that's why it's so important to have an outlet.
Yeah.
Like I right now am in such like, I've been in such a rut and I'm really turning to like creative outlets to try to kind of get out of that rut. And I really do think there's so much importance in that. Like you do have to find something to let yourself go in.
Yes.
Because shit is bleak
and
right
that's
now.
the thing. Like, that's why we're always talking about like romanticizing little things.
Yeah.
And like, you know, the soft jazz in the morning, the fucking like just pretending you're the main character while you're on a walk. Like
Just
anything
little stuff
that
like
just
that.
makes it a little better.
Yeah. I got some clay, so I want to start kind of like sculpting.
And that can take you into such a nice
little
regulated
zen place. Exactly. And I love like what do they say? Like idle hands get
the
you
devil's plaything.
Oh, I don't really love that. But yeah.
That like don't have idle hands.
Yeah, I don't want to
the
have
whole
idle
thing.
hands.
No. Like once something that like can take your mind away, and don't feel shame for needing to take your that's the other thing with social media. People will make you feel like if you're not fully absorbing everything 24 hours a day, just being blasted at you like a fire hose, that you're some kind of shit person if you need a minute to just like step back.
We're not meant to.
I don't think you are.
We're not meant to.
And it's okay if you need a minute to sit there and do some clay and watch something silly or just listen to some nice music.
Get away from your
vibe
phone
out.
for a little bit.
It's okay.
Yeah.
I just want you to know that because I keep seeing people like just, you know,
you just
burning
have to
out
think,
and emotionally feeling that. And it's like,
you have
it's okay.
to, you have to think there's never been a time where we've just been like, we are truly glued to these devices. Like they are like on our hands 24/7. If they're not in our hands, they're in our car. Like they're with us 24/7.
Yeah.
And you got to put that away for a little bit and like
disconnecting
ground
is
yourself.
such a nice feeling.
Yeah. You just got to ground yourself every now and again.
Consider it your little moments of analog.
Yes.
Just have some analog moments.
Yeah, I love that.
Analog moments. Just sit outside, sit in the quiet.
Yeah.
Just read a book, do a granny hobby, do a little creative thing.
I love a granny hobby.
But make it analog, babe. Put your phone somewhere else.
Exactly.
Just you don't have to have like technology going.
Nope.
Or if like, you know,
if you want
like
a silly movie or TV show in the back, whatever. But like,
but it's like, just have your analog moments and don't apologize for it.
Just vibe.
Have them.
Vibe.
I'm here to tell you right now, you deserve it.
You do.
You deserve it.
Everybody needs like 100% me time.
You deserve it. You're only on this earth for so long. You deserve your little moments of peace, and don't let anyone tell you that you don't.
Exactly.
And if somebody is telling you you don't, fuck them. Yeah. That's what I have to say about that.
I was gonna kick them in the shin.
I've been thinking about it a lot lately.
Me too. No, I feel exactly
it's really
the same.
been getting to me.
That is really heartbreaking though.
It is. That's the thing. And that's why I feel so horrible for Robert O'Donnell, because he was a hero.
He was.
And I think it spiraled out of control, and I feel really bad. But as for Jessica, she has literally zero memory.
Oh, that's so good.
Of the event that shaped and profoundly affected her entire life.
Yeah, that's so good though.
She later said, I learned about it when I was 4.
Okay.
And watched it on Rescue 911 at my stepmother's house.
Awesome.
And she said it was overwhelming. I remember crying.
Yeah.
And she said, I guess her stepmother was like, you do realize that's about you.
Yeah.
Like, that's your story. That's you, your baby Jessica.
Right.
And her dad said, we were waiting until she was a little bit older to tell her.
Yeah.
And she has since then read a great deal about the rescue operation.
That must be such a mind fuck because you don't remember that, but you're like, oh, I'm watching me.
Well, and she said it still feels remote.
I'm sure.
Like, it doesn't feel like it's her. And she said, it didn't affect me the way it affected other people.
Yeah.
I lived it, but I didn't watch it.
That's got to be wild.
Which is so weird. And after the incident, a trust fund was established in the amount of $1.2 million from donations made by people all around the world.
Nice.
As she grew older, she was, like, get it together, people. She was occasionally picked on by her classmates.
For what?
if you're picking on somebody for falling in
falling
a well
into
when
a
they
well?
were 18 and then being rescued,
How do you even, like, what's the material there?
that's what I'd be like, oh my God.
Oh my God, you fell into a well?
Oh, just got,
Well faller.
just didn't die. Like, what? What are you making fun of her for? She's a fucking,
I don't get that.
she's a national treasure at this point. Like, baby Jessica,
Yes.
if you're making fun of baby Jessica, get out of here.
Be like, fuck you, I united Texas.
But she has a pretty positive outlook on the whole thing. She graduated from high school in 2004, which I said, yeah.
You said same girl?
I said, yeah, girl. And the following year, she married Danny Morales, whom she met through her sister.
I love.
He was 13 years old in 1987 and remembered watching the coverage on television. And he said they stopped the whole game to say baby Jessica had been rescued. It was pretty cool.
Oh my God.
Today,
Little did he know that was his
that was
wifey
my
for
future
life.
wife. And today they have 2 children who are now old enough to learn about the incident in school. When she was asked what lessons she hopes her kids take away from the story, she said to always be humble and to remember that if you look hard enough, there are so many good people in the world.
Oh,
And I think that is such a good,
perfect place to end.
that's a good, like, way to look at that. Because like we were talking about, it's so easy to see the bad.
Yeah.
So easy.
But
And the
I
bad
like
is
if you look hard enough.
the bad is being launched at you like,
Yeah, like a
from
t-shirt gun.
cannon
Yeah.
24/7.
Yup.
And I know that's overwhelming.
It
Because I
is.
feel it.
It is.
But if you look hard enough and only tunnel vision your way into some good, you will see it.
you will.
It's everywhere.
Do you know what else is good?
What?
I remembered the fun fact
Oh!
this time.
Because, yeah. Okay,
So sorry.
I think we've missed the fun fact the last couple of times. It's because this is new, and sometimes we're just dinguses.
I think we just forgot that we were doing it.
Because of the war zone of viral plague that has been happening in my house and around us lately, I think we just got a little, like, overwhelmed, and it just did not occur to me that
didn't
we
occur to me
forgot
at
to do
all.
them.
Yeah.
So thank you for reminding us, and I promise we will not forget again.
I'm bad. Well, I'm not going to promise that because we might forget again, but we'll do our best.
I'm gonna put like a little thing up that tells us.
Oh, wow. She's
I'll
holding
set an
true to
alarm.
this. Listen to this,
Yeah.
bitch.
I'm not
Okay.
gonna let you down again.
Wow.
Listeners.
Such a Capricorn. I'm like, we might let you down again.
Like, we won't.
This is the best fun fact, so I don't even know if we need, like, we might just read this fun fact to
Just
you
over and
forever.
over.
The oldest living land animal on Earth is a 192-year-old tortoise named Jonathan.
It's the Jonathan.
It's the Jonathan.
It's the
A
Jonathan.
192-year-old turtle named Jonathan.
And he just said, I am Jonathan.
So wait, when was he born?
Damn.
2026 minus 192. 1834 this fucker was birthed.
Holy shit. And he's just still roaming? What's his
Jonathan.
secret? Tell
Being
us,
a turtle.
Jonathan, if you're listening, tell us your secret.
Wait, literally, like, why do turtles live so long? I'm gonna
I
Google
would
that
really
real
like
quick.
to know that because I'm like, why are we not taking advantage of this?
Yeah.
We take advantage of everything else as humans.
Oh,
why are we not
because
doing that?
they're low stress.
Oh,
This is from Google. It says turtles live exceptionally long lives due to a combination of slow metabolisms, low stress lifestyles, and high cellular resistance to aging, often referred to as negligible senescence. They quickly repair DNA, resist cancer, and protect themselves with hard shells. So it allows them to live for over 100 years, with some species showing very few signs of aging.
wow.
Very interesting. Oh,
I
that's
love
really
that
cool.
low stress is a part of that because I feel like that goes along.
That was our
with this-
message.
This message so well because
Yeah.
stress will fucking kill you.
Your hobby, your granny hobby, can be your hard shell.
It really
And
should be your hard
you
shell.
Say I'm hard shelling right now.
yeah, I'm
I can't talk
analoging.
to
I'm
you.
hard shelling. I'm tortoising right now. Please leave me alone.
This is really cool. And research indicates that they quickly kill off damaged cells.
Interesting.
So that's why they don't really end up getting cancer
I
very
wonder
often.
how. You wonder what the evolutionary process is there.
The process is called apoptosis.
Oh yeah,
So they just resist it.
but it's like why do they? You
I
know,
don't know.
damn, that's interesting. That is a fun fact.
They also take many years to reach sexual maturity, and that's why they live longer.
Good for them. They're just vibing for a little
So
while.
they're just kids for longer.
They're just kids.
They get a long childhood. Maybe that's it.
Honestly, I'm 40 and I'm still a kid, so I subscribe to that.
I subscribe to it too.
I subscribe to being youthful as long as humanly possible.
I
Even
love
when you're
turtles. I love them
Your
so
youth.
much. At the Boston Aquarium, Myrtle the turtle.
old. Oh, Myrtle for life.
Love Myrtle.
Yeah,
I wonder
she's-
how old she is.
She's a queen.
Not as old as Jonathan.
Yeah, not as old as Jonathan.
Wow, what a fun story. Well, not a fun story, a harrowing story. I like how it ended happy. That was the fun part.
Yeah, I feel we needed it.
I can't believe that people made fun of her in school.
That's people
for falling down a well when she was a baby.
People can make fun of anybody for anything.
God
it's
damn.
insane. That's what I mean. Like, get it together, people who do that.
Yeah, I just think sometimes, like, when I have kids, if I ever find out that they've made fun of somebody,
yeah, you're gonna want to fight a kid.
I'm gonna be upset and disappointed in myself. No, I would
but
never
you're
fight a
gonna want
kid.
to.
Jesus Christ, get a grip.
Yeah, like, I know we're just saying it because I don't want to be.
New thread unlocked. Ash and Elena fight kids.
We fight kids. I'm sure that's already been said.
Nah, we don't. We just love turtles.
Nah, we don't.
Nah, we don't fight kids. We just love turtles and we love being grannies.
Yeah.
We're like Rita and
Janet.
Rita and Janet.
The grannies.
The grannies. All right, guys. Well, we hope that you keep listening.
And we hope you
keep
it
weird. But not so weird that you don't age like a turtle.
Yeah, get analog with it.
Yeah.
Have your moments. You deserve it.
Hell yeah. Bye,
Unless
dolls.
you're a bitch.
Unless you're a bitch, then fuck you.
Then you don't deserve it. But if you're listening right now, she's about to turn off the recorder, so I'm going to keep talking. If you're listening right now, you're beautiful and lovely. Because you stuck it out. Love you.
Hi, I'm Angie Hicks, co-founder of Angie. When you use Angie for your home projects, you know all your jobs will be done well. Roof repair? Done well. Kitchen sink install? Done well. Deck upgrades? Done well. Electrical upgrade? Done well. Angie's been connecting homeowners with skilled pros for nearly 30 years, so we know the difference between done and done well. Angie, the one you trust to find the ones you trust. Find a pro for your project at Angie.com.
In the U.S., there's a break-in every 26 seconds. But when intruders step near, Simply Safe Home Security steps up.
Stop. This is Simply Safe. Police are on the way.
Using AI alerts, U.S.-based live agents help deter break-ins. Simply Safe, no long-term contracts. Save 50% on your new system with professional monitoring at simplysafe.com/SXM or with promo code SXM.
Outdoor deterrence requires a Simply Safe Active Guard outdoor protection plan starting at $49.99 a month. Visit simplysafe.com/licenses for alarm license information. Tennessee 2012.